CrewAI is a cutting-edge framework designed for orchestrating role-playing among AI agents. CrewAI gives us the power of collaborative intelligence, enabling agents to seamlessly collaborate and tackle complex tasks efficiently. Today, we will integrate Google's Gemini Pro vision model with our custom tools designed for the agents, enhancing their capabilities for stock analysis. We will be using Gemini Pro Vision for any vision-related tasks, and Gemini Pro for generating response. Now, before we begin, we will require an API key, which we can generate at Google AI Studio. I will provide the link in the description. Today, instead of rewriting the code, I'll utilize a Jupyter notebook to guide you through the code step by step. You can access the code on my GitHub repository, and the link will be provided in the description. But before we begin, please load your API key into the .env file, and I suggest that you create a separate images folder, as demonstrated here. Let's begin. First, we need to import the required module. You can install all the required modules using the requirements.txt file from my GitHub. Next, we pull the API key from the .env file and initialize the Gemini Pro model. Make sure to keep the temperature low because we don't want too much of variation or randomness in the response. Moving on to the user inputs, the user needs to provide two inputs. Number 1, the company or enterprise name, and number 2, full file path that we want to pass to the Gemini vision model. As you can see, the images being passed to the vision model are actually line charts of Apple and Microsoft. Next, we come to the most important part of today's build. Tools. We will be using tools for generating response from Gemini vision model and also scrape financial data from Google Finance. We will use the tool decorator from Langchain to create our custom tools. This doc string is what makes the tool so important. Based on how we write the doc string, the Gemini model will create an action response. An action response is basically a string that is passed to the tool as an input parameter. The tool will do its job based on the input parameter. But here we need two input, the prompt and file path, but Gemini will generate and pass only one input. So to achieve this, we need to explicitly define a JSON object as shown here. Now the Gemini model will return a JSON object as an action response. We can then use the JSON module to extract data from this action string and pass it to Gemini vision model. Similarly, for scraping data from Google Finance, we need two parameter. Stock exchange where the company is listed and the ticker. We will again use a doc string for the job, and then once we have the required inputs, we can scrape the desired data from Google Finance using requests and beautiful soup modules. Moving on, we will also need a tool for searching the web for news or any other data related to the company. For that we will be using DuckDuckGo search. So we are done with the complex part of the build. Next, let's talk about agents. Here I will be using for agents, financial analyst, image analyst, research analyst and advisor. Financial analyst, who will be responsible for collecting financial data related to the company. Research analyst, responsible for collecting news on the stock in question, conduct sentiment analysis, etc. Image analyst, this agent will take the line chart images as input and determine if the prices are likely to increase or decrease. And finally advisor, responsible for summing up everything and providing a report on the stock. Every agent needs to be provided with a number of parameters such as role, which is the role the agent will play. Goal, the final goal of the agent. Backstory, we can add a backstory to the agent. LLM, we will be using Gemini Pro as the LLM. Tools, a list of tools needs to be provided. Depending on the agent, the tools will differ. Delegation, delegation is the process by which an agent assigns a task to another agent, or just ask another agent. It's an intelligent decision-making process that enhances the crew's functionality. We need to pass a true or false value depending on the agent and task in hand. And finally, I would suggest keeping the verbose at true. Now coming to tasks. As the name suggests, tasks are jobs for the agents. A task will take two inputs: description, which is used to describe the task in hand. I would suggest to make the description as detailed as possible for better response. And finally, agent. Here we will assign an agent who will be responsible for completing the task and providing a response. Finally, we come to the crew. The crew function will take a number of inputs. They are agents. Here we need to provide a list of all the agents. Tasks. Here we need to provide a list of all the tasks. And it should be arranged in a sequence based on the task we want to execute first, and finally, process. As of recording this video, CrewAI only supports sequential process, which means all tasks will be executed sequentially. To start our agents, we simply need to call the kickoff function. So let's run the program and test our agents. As you can see here, this is what I was talking about while creating the custom tools. We are able to shape the action input in such a way that more data can be passed from Gemini model to the tools. As you can see at this point, we are using the image analyst agent and using Gemini Pro Vision model to generate a response. And finally, we have the final report on the stock analysis conducted for Apple.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.